welcome to the Apex Esports League's LMP900 World Series. Tonight is the final round of the series. We're heading off to Circuit of the Americas GP. Currently, for tonight, we only have the one race. Normally we have two races, but being the final round, we have the final race. They're about to head off into a 15-minute practice session, weather clear. Qualifying is 15 minutes with weather light cloud. We'll then have a 7-minute break, which will then return to get ready for the final race. So that's 30 laps around Circuit of the Americas. Game time 11 and weather is light cloud to clear. So we have a mandatory pit for the race. So currently leading the series championship is Angry Oldfellow on 417 points, Gallon 350 on 400, and Weaven 777 in third with 386 points. There's 120 points up for grabs for the win, so that's not a clear winner for the series yet. Last week we saw Angry Oldfellow in the sprint race take pole and the win to the race, and then in the main race we saw Corby 387 take qualifying for the pole position and also the race win. So some very interesting results out of the last round. So we're heading off into the recession now, so we'll briefly have a look at the track. So Circuit of the Americas, of course, is in the USA. The length of track is 5.51 kilometers with 20 turns, so there's a lot of technical corners in this track. So the S's is quite tricky as well. It's a couple of hairpins, some faster corners, but mostly slower technicals with some good long straights at the back and also along the pit straight as well. So total points up for grabs tonight is 145 points, so 25 being for taking pole position, and there is also the fastest lap points, which is an extra 5 points going to the fastest lap of the race. And we're just waiting for this to load and checking out the crowd there. Cars directly under the stadium. And we've had some very consistent results with our championship leaders as well. We've had Angry, Gallon and Weaven quite consistent throughout the series. Last statistical data, we're looking at around the 50 to 52 points per race was the average points for each. And I'm pretty sure we've got a entire field of Audis as getting. We do have a newcomer entering into tonight's race, which is Mr. D-Train Barbado. He's just new to Apex Esports League, so welcome Mr. D-Train to the series and to Apex Esports League. Interesting to see how well you go tonight. He was saying in the game lobby that he has not driven these cars, but he's going to give it his best shots, and that'll be good to see him perform. A few cars getting out onto the field. And it is default setups for the cars. Meaning drivers cannot actually adjust the settings to the car. And the cars do start on the hard slick tyres. Bertie's feeling those cold hard slicks. Had Psycho set some quick laps in the series as well. Last week he took second position in the sprint race and also claimed fastest lap. He qualified 6th and finished very strongly on the podium in 2nd place, claiming the fastest lap points. He encountered a bit of bad luck in the main race last week at the Hockenheim. If you're joining us for the stream, there are controls underneath to be able to play sound effects over the stream. I'll be able to see you put those sound effects over the stream, so be sure to use that as different events occur throughout the race. Cheer on your favourite driver. Also get in on the chat, I can see that as well. Also take the win. I think is going to win the championship. some technical issues going on with the game at the moment. As you can see, just clouds. Qualifying is complete. A minute 30 remaining. Currently, Psycho has pole position, Angry in second, and Corby in third. Car starting to bring in to the pit. I will try and fix this. And we are back from the break. So we had a few technical issues going on with the stream, some weird seeing, and then after me trying to fix it, realised I didn't have my mic back on when I head back. So as you can see, for our qualifying results, we saw Corby steal pole position right at the end. So our break is done. Drivers had cigarettes, used the bathroom, ready to go. So we're going to head off into the race ready room. The drivers will now have 2 minutes to set pit strategies and hit ready. We got Corby at the front. As I'll bring up the map if you can see it briefly. It's probably not too good with that white of the track in the pit side there. However, it is a left turn hairpin for the start of the race. Drivers will be clambering to get a strong Okay, and the game is now syncing, so just got this fixed just in time. And we're away. Looks like Gallon tried to get around past Psycho. He's now moved up into second. Angry cutting on the inside. Not enough position as free wide on the hairpin. Corby just narrowly ahead of Angry Oldfella. A very clean first couple of corners considering. I'm very glad I quickly got that stream to resync back up. Corby starting to put some distance on Angry Oldfella, now a second ahead of him. Angry slipping back, it looks like he may have gone off a little bit on the track. Very tight, tail to tail. Psycho looking at making a move on Gallon. Gallon having the inside advantage. Oh, both going off wide. Almost making contact with the sign. Oh, a little bit of contact, free wide through those corners. There is no room for these cars. It looks like synchronized swimming as they go through the corner. Angry and Gallon exchanging some elbow rubs as they go through those fast corners. Curvett off in the distance there, taking out those Hot Wheels signs. Angry's now moved up into second position. Gallon is in third. Psycho getting impatient, looking for an opportunity to pass. A nice inside move. Heavy on the brakes to be able to compensate for that closer line. I'm seeing Stanhouse have to head into the pits, so he's taken some damage. And Curve has just gone off. When we get a camera, hello. Took a little while, it looks like he may have made some wall contact. Psycho now getting away off Gallon. And quickly catching up to Angry Oldfella. Corby currently leading the race by 2.5 seconds. He's getting away on them. If you're joining us for the stream, be sure to say hello as well. Looks like Angry's gone off. We can't get an updated lead from this. I'm not sure what was going on. Did spin out, so Psycho and Gallen have gone past. It's taking a while for cameras to catch up with this. Aussie Chopper's starting to close in on Mr. D. Both in identical cars. Weaving 777 sitting back in 7th position. Weaving will need to try and cover some ground. Be able to maintain his chance at being able to take the championship from Angry Old Fella. We have Curver closing in on Bertie. Slightly offline through the S's. Looks like Bertie just scraping ahead of him. Starting to see a bit of separation. Curver looking to make a move. Bertie locking it up, allowing Curver to go through. Curver forcing an error out of Bertie. Bit of gap amongst the drivers now. Gallen starting to slip behind a little bit. Tycho now ahead of him by 4 seconds. Angry Old Fella starting to recover from that spin out. Quickly catching up to Gallen, now only 2 seconds behind Gallen, 350. Oh, Broad, can he recover? That was a lucky save. They could have seen him going off into the inside of that corner and diving it into that wall. That could have been a disastrous start to the race for Angry. Now, coming on to lap 4. Psycho running off wide, hitting that sign. May have been able to cause a little bit of aero damage collecting those signs. Very tidy, very quick through there. Before Psycho ran wide and hit that sign, he did close the gap to Corby to 2.5 seconds. That's now pushed him back to the 4-second mark. His momentum was seeing him start to put some gain on him. Oh, Mr. D and Bertie narrowly avoiding each other. Mr. D getting past Bertie. As Bertie has spun off, looks like he's made some front end damage. Doesn't look to be too drastic. Just a bit of aero damage. Doesn't look like he's damaged the wheels or the lights. Corby stealing that pole position in that last lap. It's been a good trait of Corby so far in the series. Drivers joking that he should be banned from the last 5 minutes of qualifying sessions. That's when he steals pole position right in that last instance. Now there's a bit of time between the drivers. We'll see who's done the fastest lap. And it is Psychogency setting a 1:54.780. There's only a second difference off his last lap compared to Corby. That could see Corby putting some more time difference on Psycho. Gallen looks like he's spun out. Not sure if he's taken damage. Doesn't look like it. He's lost a position to Angry Old Fella, and now Curver hot on his tail, putting some pressure on him. Too wide, forcing Curver to go off wide as well. Gallen now needing to recover some positions. Corby now leading 4 seconds. Weaven sitting back in 6th position, and it is mandatory pit for this race. Gallen quickly catching back up on Curver again. To the back of the field. Oh, a little bit of contact as Stanhouse passes Aussie. Looks like Aussie had gone off wide. And they did make a bit of contact, but here's some smashing as he passed. Not sure what sort of damage Aussie may have at the moment. Looks like he's struggling with the car a little bit. Like it is jolting to the right. We did see contact to Stanhouse on that right side. His steering seems to be a little bit off. He's probably going to bring that into the pits. That can be his mandatory pit. And he's definitely backed off the speed. Taking it easy with the car at the moment. Psycho still trying to cover some time and close in on Corby, but Corby definitely getting away. He's just out there on his own at the moment. Going for a lap with Corby. He's a little bit off his pace. He's catching up to Aussie Chopper by the looks of it already. Aussie's struggling with that car after taking some damage. Blue flag will be shown. He moves off track for Corby. Well done, Aussie. Definitely won't be improvement, so 2 seconds off the pace. So taking it easy, we'll have a quick look at the timings. The Psycho is still the quickest lap, 154. His last lap a 156.7 and Corby a 157.2. This rate, if Corby is doing that slightly off pace, easily see Psycho starting to catch up. Oh, and Curve has gone off, taking out several signs. Luckily not pushing them out onto the track. Allowed Gallen and Weaven to now move up into 4th and 5th respectively. Mr. D-Train sitting in 7th position. And it is Mr. D-Train's debut race with Apex Esports League. Saw Birdie possibly take some aero damage to the front of that car. Aussie Chopper, last lap of 4 minutes 16. I'm not sure if he's been into the pits. Could have just been from that slow lap. He may have been having some technical issues. And Psycho has gone off track or had a spin. He's now 8 seconds behind Corby, and that's now put Angry Old Fella hot onto his tail. Quickly catching up. Angry not needing to actually take a win, just as long as he finishes stronger than Gallen and Weaven, should guarantee his position for the series championship. So now lap 8 of 30. That's a third of the way through the race. We have Curver closing in on Weaven 777. Gap from 6th to 7th is 15 seconds difference. So they're not expecting to see anyone come up behind him just yet. It looks like we will have a battle for second position very soon. Getting in the time feeds, varying from 2 seconds between him and Angry to quickly back to a second. Psycho seeing Angry start to hone down on him. He's starting to put a bit of pressure. I think we may see Angry look to make a move. You can see cars just up ahead. Not sure what car that was. It did look like a silver car. So I think that may be Corby. Tidy line through the S's. You can see him closing in on Psycho, a little bit offline. Psycho getting away. Being able to see both drivers' different strong points. Be nice if I was getting an up-to-date race feed so I can see what sector times were. If you are joining us with the feed, if you do notice the stream drop out, hit up a message on the chat. I do have to look over across into another room to see my second console to see if it comes up with an error. We just had Mr. D and Bertie almost involved in an incident. Mr. D's past Bertie. Bertie getting stuck into the dirt. Angry again closing back in on Psycho. At the back end of the lap, Angry has caught up. Then through that first couple of sectors, Psycho seems to get away. I think that's Bertie off to the side. Was it Mr. D? I'm not sure who it was at. Perhaps it was Aussie moving over, I think it was. Yes, Aussie Chopper moving out of the way for Angry and Psycho. So different lines by both drivers when we were in cockpit with Angry. I think Angry catch up, but then Psycho starting to pull away at the back of that. the hairpin. Onto the back straight. Angry running a little bit wide. Psycho definitely having a tighter line through there, getting away onto the speed a little bit earlier than Angry. Now pushing that lead to 2 seconds again. And then in this next sector we see Angry close back into almost just under a second. Almost thought we might have seen the back end go out on Angry's car. Looked like there was a bit of a lock-up. Lap 10, third of the way through the race. Drivers were discussing briefly in the break, wondering about fuel loads, as whether the game would, or the cars, have enough fuel to get around for 30 laps. With force default setups, it'll give you maximum fuel that the car can carry. So as to whether they need to be able to incorporate it into their pit strategy, they would have been doing that in that race ready room. Getting ready, they would have been able to see how many laps they could get and adjust pitch stops accordingly to that. Corby at the moment, nice and safe, race to his own at the moment. We'll have a look for... We have currently a lap down from 7th through to 10th. Again, seeing the same cat and mouse game with Psycho and Angry Old Fella. Gallen sitting back in 4th position. He's got 13 seconds to try and catch up to Angry Old Fella. Gallen will need to try and secure himself a stronger finishing position than Angry. And to determine the winner for this race will definitely be coming down to pit strategies. Weavens are 8 seconds behind Gallen. Here's Curver almost 6 seconds behind him. Not looking like anyone will be making any drastic passes anytime soon. And Bertie starting to catch up on Mr. D. And here we go, we've seen Gallen going in, he's done a tyre change. Interesting decision there. Not sure if he's doing repairs. That is very quick, didn't look like fuel. May have been a little bit of repairs. That's his mandatory pit, so not sure how the tyres would have been going. So Gallen has dropped down to 6th position. That's his mandatory pit out of the way. Game time for this started at 11 o'clock. Weather is light cloud to clear. Track temperatures will increase as the race goes on. Session is ×2. We're expecting an hour for this race to take. That'll see game time going to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll definitely be seeing track temperatures go up for sure. So you could still hold out on hards. Track temperatures should be sufficient to get enough grip out of those hards and make those tyres last longer. I'm not sure if Gallen opted to get those and try and do softs for the remainder of the race. Psycho heading into the pits. What's going on? He's stopped a little bit early there. That's cost him some time. Are you changing tyres? No, he's done no tyre change. That's a stop and go, costing him a few seconds from prematurely stopping just before the pit crew. Weaven and Angry have moved up towards the top. Angry now in second position. Weaven in third. Psycho has dropped back into fifth position. He's exiting the pits now. No one coming up behind him. Well, the other drivers currently have already been into the pits with Stanhouse after taking damage early on in the race. If his tyres can hold out for him, that will give him an advantage to try and reclaim some ground after that incident at the start. Oh, we've just had a driver disconnect. Not sure who's disconnected. Looks like it's Aussie Chopper has all disconnected. May have retired. I haven't seen him. A message come up saying he's disconnected or left the session. May have sustained some heavy damage or having some technical issues. Race leader Corby will need to head into the pits. Angry opting to head into the pits now as well. That will give an opportunity for Weaven to catch up. It seems to be adding about 30 seconds to do a pit stop. No tyre change. Touching up any repairs. Off he goes. A quick stop and go. We will see Weaven pass Angry Old Fella in the pits. Up the map. Looks like Curver as well will also be passing. I think Angry's just got out in front in time. Yes, just in time. Will we see Corby follow suit and pit soon? He has a strong lead over second position. If he is showing any sign of tyre wear, otherwise he may just stay out there and try and push for some more times. That fuel load getting less and less. Curver sitting a couple of seconds behind Angry Old Fella. Delay and some strange audio going through, and here goes Corby. He's heading off into the pits. Let's see Weaven's countdown. Will Weaven also choose to opt and get into the pits? We need to see him do his mandatory pit as well. No tyres, quick stop and go I think as well. Looks like they were needing a bit of fuel load by the looks of things. As our race leader is in, we got a strange time update. 13 Mr. D closing in. And time's going askew all over the place. So you can't see just how close things are coming for a race leader. And a car stuck in the pits by the look of things. Yes, there's a car stuck there, so we have had Aussie Chopper retire. Oh no, Bertie spinning out. Curver heading to the pits 2 times, spinning out, struggling to get the car back on the track. All cars getting past cleanly. Weaven now 5 seconds behind Corby. He did have 35 seconds before Corby head into the pits, so our estimations are approximately for a quick stop and go is 30 seconds. We do need to see Weaven head in. I think we may see Weaven decide to head into the pits in the next few laps for sure. Angry old fella now closing in on Weaven. Angry needing to get ahead of Weaven. I think he wants to secure this spot for the championship. Gallen and Psycho looking to fight for 4th position very shortly. Angry just closed in further on Weaven. Time differences between these 4 drivers. Just trying to work out who will look at making a pass before the other. Oh no, Weaven has gone off. You're missing the pit exit, so pit entrance. Finding it without taking much damage, that has been costly for him in time. Angry now moves into 2nd position. Even serving his mandatory pit. Psycho sitting 8 seconds behind. Sure, was that Gallen? Must have just run and cut track quickly behind Psycho. Sorry if he would have been given a slowdown. Cover and Weaven looking to claim a position away. Weaven has gotten away a little bit. Gallen starting to close in on Psycho quite quickly. Different lines. Okay, doing a very wide line. Given the very flatness of this track, can't exactly see too far ahead as to what corners are coming up. A lot of the markings and surroundings look very familiar, so very tricky to try and remember where you are on the track. Once you do find those lines and get accustomed to it, it is a nice track to drive. Less than a second between these two guys. Oh, Psycho has gone off. Let me get a camera in on time just to see what's going on. I think that's the rear of his car. Doesn't look like he's taken damage, but let's help Gallen move up to 3rd position. Mr. D and Stanhouse contesting for 7th position. Mr. D almost making a move. Swerving around, looking for an opportunity to pass. Was considering trying to get an inside line. Didn't have the speed to continue with it. to the S's. So he gets the faster line through here. And Stanhouse got away by 2 seconds. Drivers in the field separating quite a fair bit now. Corby leading the race by 10 seconds. Very tidy, consistent driving by Corby. Fastest lap of the race is still set by Psycho, 1:54.7. Corby's last lap being his fastest of the race. Should see that continue as track temperatures increase and fuel loads lighten. And we just had Curver catch up on Weaven. Angry old fella trying to close some gap up onto our race leader. Sitting 11.5 seconds away from Corby. Then further onto that, gap between second and third, Angry and Gallen is 13 seconds. Then between third and fourth for Gallen and Psycho is 10 seconds. And we've got 18 seconds between Psycho and Weaven from fourth to fifth. And then 5th and 6th is only a second's difference. Mr. D has headed off into the pits. And these guys also playing cat and mouse, very on par with lap times, but definitely faster in different sectors of the track. Just need to try and improve, follow in a different sector, or try and get closer and try and force an error. So go on board with our race leader. Fourth down to first. Flat foot. So on the back straight. Needing to move over to the right and heavy onto the brakes for a very sharp left hand elbow. Almost hairpin. Nice to the outside, and then quickly dart across to the outside again for another sharp elbow. Couple of hairpins, nice and wide to get that line. And back out wide is a bit of a quicker corner. Double apex into a third. And between another sharp left elbow. And then onto pit straight. Chopper still with us by the looks of things, passing him in the pits, so he's monitoring the race. Curver again closing in. Long lap 20, 10 laps remaining, 2/3 of the way through this race. It's been a clean race so far, which is very nice. First lap was very tidy. Curver looking to make a pass. No, he's just run off wide, losing that time. He did just close that gap a little bit more onto Weaven. fella, our series leader. He can maintain in second. Shorty's doing a bit of weaving back and forth and then locking up. May be having some technical issues with his rig. Notice these guys keep closing that gap into less than a second. I'll continue to play cat and mouse with Weaving getting away from him yet again. As you can see down the bottom we have our addresses for our Facebook page. You can head over to there and follow our page so you can get up-to-date race results for any of our series. Angry losing some ground. Oh, and we've got Gallon making a move on the inside, locking it up from shaving off that excess speed coming into that sharp corner. Looks like Angry may have had some damage occur as he's now heading back into the pits again. We did see him swerving and hitting the brakes. He obviously wasn't happy with the setup, or he may have taken a hit somewhere. Gives Gallon good opportunity now to get ahead of Angry. No tyre change. The usual blurry camouflage drivers. Yes, he's getting repairs. He's definitely taken something that he wasn't happy with how the car was performing, warranting him to have to bring that car in. It wasn't worth him obviously trying to fight it through the rest of these 9 laps. Angry now slipped back to 6th position. Gallon and Weaven now probably starting to feel a bit of confidence with being able to secure some stronger points ahead of Angry. And if you follow our links down the bottom, as I mentioned, you can head to our Facebook page to follow up on all the race results. You can also head over to our Facebook group from there and join, and that will have all our race event details. So if you want to get involved in any of our racing, you can do so from there. We also have our YouTube page, or YouTube channel should I say. All our races, after we have streamed them live on Twitch, get saved to YouTube so you can watch past races. Otherwise we will broadcast live for the races to Twitch, so be sure to hit that follow button. I'm trying to grow to the 50 followers. I think we've got 36 at the moment, so only 14 to go to get that goal. It'd be great if you can share us, get your friends and family involved, get into the thrill of watching eSports racing. These guys still not being able to cover enough ground to catch up on Weaving yet for Curver. And Gallant would be quite pleased with his position in the race at this stage. Doesn't need to take a win. This rate with 8 laps remaining, if Corby continues this consistent pace and does not force himself too much and have a significant accident, I think he has secured the win for this race. And that may be enough points for Gallen to take a podium on 2nd place, to be able to steal away points enough to get that win for the championship. Psycho with having our fastest lap. We'll quickly bring up the times and see if he still has that. Yes, he does, and he did that early on in the race, a 154.7. With fuel loads lightening and track temperatures increasing, we should definitely start seeing some faster times, but Psycho setting that fast time with a much heavier fuel load, so very good fast driving by Psycho. And Psycho is currently sitting 5th in the championships with 280 points. They're finishing on the podium and could definitely see him climb up ahead and get a podium position. Actually, he's 106 points behind Weaven for third, so could definitely take fourth position for the championship. That will be a very strong finish indeed. Weaven's in third. Currently sitting fourth in the race. Finishing fourth or third will be fine for him to be able to maintain his spots on the podium. Seven laps remain. Oh, Weaven gone off track. He's done a car reset to bring that back off as well, which almost put him in the way of Curver. Hopefully he hasn't taken damage. I think he did make wall contact. Trying to have a look and see how the car looks. Rather lucky. That is setting back slightly. Corby back into the pits. We have seen him already pit. This could see Gallen definitely get ahead. It was 25 seconds behind. And we've noticed just for a stop and go is 30 seconds. So for Corby to bring that car in again. Definitely getting some repairs done. Short one's not sure what repairs he's done. 4 seconds. It's going to see Gallen get ahead for sure. Yes, Corby still in the pits coming out, and Gallen cruises on ahead. Gallen now our race leader. A very strong chance to be able to win the championship from this position. Gallen just needs to remember that he does not actually need to secure a win for the race, just finish significantly stronger over Angry and Weaven. Seen Psycho also heading back into the pits. Not sure what they're doing. Getting some repairs done. And seeing some cars being caught up for lapping here. I think that is Bertie just up ahead of Gallen. That might be Mr. D potentially. Trying to figure out who it is. If we can get an update here. Yes, so Gallen needing to get around Mr. D. Gallen does not want the back markers to slow him up too much as Corby is quickly closing in. As long as no risky mistakes are made, he gets past Mr. D nice and clean. That now leaves Corby to get past Mr. D as well. Flash of the lights, making himself known. Blue flag. Nicely done by Mr. D on the brakes, slowing to allow him through. Great sportsmanship shown by Mr. D, well done. Corby closing on Gallen, 2 seconds. Five laps remain. The best laps for Corby and Gallen, 1:55.020 and a 1:55.100. Very tight. We did see Corby have to pit, so last lap not being indicative of current pace. Gallen last lap at 1:56.9. Seems to be holding close to that 2.5 second gap between him and Corby. Had Weaven just about 5 seconds ahead of Angry Old Fella and gaining in on Curver. We did see Weaven go off. He has begun to recover that ground and lost time from going off. Corby's quickly catching up on Gallen, now 1.5 seconds. Some pressure for Gallen, seeing him come up in the mirror. Nice if I was getting sector times just to see how they are going. As I was mentioning before, Gallen does not have to be too concerned if Corby takes the lead from him. Gallen breaking the stream, trying to get a bit of time advantage over him. So Corby in this championship standings is sitting in 6th position with 255 points. So he does not have an opportunity by taking a race win from stealing a position in the championship from Gallen. So it's up to Gallen whether he wants to try and fight for a win for this race or just secure a nice safe point well ahead of Angry Old Fella and then claim the championship. Would be nice to see Gallen take a win for this race and also claim the championship with a strong win. Or locking it up, or narrowly avoiding contact with Corby. That could have been disastrous for both of them. Bit of pressure under Corby sitting so close behind. Gallen has 35-second safety net between him and 3rd position. The room for a few little mistakes, a bit of slower driving just to get that car safely back across the finish line. Angry Old Fella, our current series leader, sitting midfield with his close contenders Gallen and Weaven both ahead of him. Angry has won a couple of series with us. Has a very strong driving consistently. Gallen not giving up on Corby, still in his sights, now closing that gap back in after that spin out. Oh no, Gallen's gone off almost into the pit exit. He has that safety net, no damage taken. Time to get that car around, get it moving. Had Mr. D come up behind him, but that is a back marker. Cutting corners there. You can afford a slowdown, that won't be too bad of an issue. Even cop a time penalty on the chin. Angry Old Fella looking to make a move on Weaven. We may have Weaven with some front aero damage to that car, so he will be a little bit off pace. We did see Angry Old Fella head back into the pits a second time, as we did see Corby as well. I'm not sure if they're doing that for fuel loads. May have been concerned about getting the cars across the line with the fuel. Angry quickly closing in on Weaven. And also catching up on Curver. Angry old fella having a speed advantage here in the draft, looking to make an inside pass, but you need to be quite wide to get this corner. Ooh, a little bit of a tap. You'll allow Weaven to get back into that spot. This is tight driving. Oh, narrowly avoiding as he crosses back in front of Angry old fella. Angry looking to go for the inside lines, but that puts him off a little bit pace from getting a faster exit speed. As we saw there with Weaven having that slight speed advantage coming out of the corner. Angry looking to try and get past him. Gallen is to finish in second position. Angry needs to try and get ahead of Weaven. Oh, he's lost time. Pressure of trying to find an open spot with Weaven not giving him an inch of it. That was some very tight battling going on there. Don't think it's over between these two just yet. And Corby now on lap 28, 2 laps remain. He has 7 seconds lead over Gallen. Gallen doing well. He's got enough of a safety net between him and third. Finishing second will definitely be able to get him ahead in the championship. Angry looking in those same spots again, looking for an inside pass. I think he's got him this time. He did lose it. Did spin out a little bit in front of him. It was enough to force Weaven to actually get on the brakes. Oh, and a little bit of a slide from Weaven. He was a little bit offline trying to stay on par with Angry old fella. No damage taken. That has set him back quite a fair bit now. Angry old fella now having just a couple of laps to try and catch up on Curver. If Angry old fella can get into that third position, it may be enough of a points difference to secure his gap, as he does have that advantage over Gallen. 350 of 17 points. Angry old fella's got 2 seconds to get ahead and catch up on Curver and make a pass. Corby looking pretty safe with almost 9-second lead over Gallen. Can we catch up? We've got Angry catching in very quick on Curver. A little bit offline for the S's. Bit of slip. That's just cost him a couple of seconds. And Corby starting to come up on his last lap. A white flag. Last lap. Got 8-second difference between him and Gallen. He can take it relatively easy. He just needs to bring this car back around this lap nice and safe, and he's got the win on the final race. Brilliant driving by Corby. We've seen him pit twice as well, and managed to climb back up to the top. After a blistering last qualifying lap. Nice crackle as he downshifts it into first from fourth. So on board for a victory lap with Corby 387. He's 6th in the championship. This could definitely move him up a couple of positions. It's tight between 4th through to 7th. And we got Angry, just quickly closed in on Curver, I think. If Curver happens to hold Angry old fella back into that position. Oh, there's contact, there's a nudge. Oh, some damage has been taken, I think, to Angry. Surely that would not be enough to have affected the car. Got Stanhouse and Weaven as well. And here is Corby. He has won. He's finished the race. Final race win goes to Corby. 387. Brilliant driving. Here's Gallen. He's going to slow down and do a burnout, I think. Flash the lights if you're watching the stream. Yeah, a burnout. He's got 10 seconds, 30 seconds. Plenty of time to do a burnout. Well done. I think this may be enough to have won the championship for Gallen. Is the car auto driving now? I think it is. And then Mr. D just quickly coming around. That will be his final lap. Curver and Angry going off wide. The last corner. Not enough to get past. Oh, narrowly almost taking third position. So third going to Curver. Angry old fella in 4th. Well done. Be definitely tight for points. Oh, slight contact between Stanhouse and Weaven. Weaven brings it home in 5th position. Stanhouse in 6th. Sorry, no. Stanhouse took 5th. Weaven in 6th. Psycho coming up to finish, 25 seconds remaining. Psycho brings it home. Yes, so Weaven had a time penalty in the end that cost him. So there we have it, the final race, final round of the LMP900 World Series. Corby 387 winning the race. Brilliant driving on the podium. Also is Gallen 350 on the 2nd position. Doing some brilliant burnouts at the end of that race. Also on the podium, Curver 974 taking 3rd position. Angry old fella coming in at 4th. So he did have a 17-point lead over Gallen for the championship with qualifying positions and the difference in points there. I think it may be very tight. Possibly Gallen 350 just scraping ahead. So the rest of the field, we've got Stanhouse in 5th, Psycho in 6th, Weaven in 7th position, Mr. D-Train in 8th, Bertie in 9th, and Aussie Chopper retiring early on in 10th position. So a brilliant race tonight. It was very exciting, some great battles, and be sure to head to our Facebook page definitely to see how these results finish up. So this is the end for the Thursday night series for the LMP900. We are heading off into another series. So next week we have the start of the Ferrari Series 488 Challenge. So we have a 5-round series yet again. First round next week, same time as this series. We have at 7:30 for the broadcast, round 1, Willow Springs International Raceway. So we'd definitely appreciate if you would like to get over and stay tuned and check out that series. And also in a couple of weeks we'll have Tuesday night broadcasts. We are doing a 3-round series which will be V8 supercars just on Bathurst, 3 races or 3 rounds just at Bathurst. So be sure to check that out as well. You can, at our next stream, you'll definitely see all our links to be able to get involved with our streams, past broadcasts, and our Facebook page. So thanks for tuning in. Be sure to stay tuned for our Ferrari series next Thursday.